Welcome back to the best mods for the money and reliability for the Focus ST 2025 edition. So today we're going to be covering stage 2 in the modification process for the Focus ST. Now this is the order that I would take if I had bought a brand new or used Focus ST and started from scratch. This is how I would do it. So this is what this is based off to save you money in the long run and also help make the car more reliable. That way you're not spending as much going forward. Also, remember, if you're doing any of these upgrades and you're going to cvfab.com, use my code BB5 at the checkout to save some money on their intercoolers or on their downpipes and other things that you could get for any other EcoBoost vehicle. Honestly, this could be one of the first things that you do back here, but these mods over here I feel are more important and ahead of this order. So, but number one on the list for stage 2 is definitely going to be the catch cans. Now, you can't really go wrong with which catch can you choose. The most popular catch can out there, I would say, and for the aesthetics and show car look, would definitely be the radium kits. Now, they have the one for the valve cover, and then they have the one for the front PCV plate. So those are going to be the best looking ones, but they're also going to be one of the most expensive kits out there. So, keep that in mind. But if you want a total show car look and you're just looking for aesthetics and some sort of, performance out of that as far as getting the benefits of the catch can, then definitely that's the catch can for you. If you want to go for a more OEM style upgrade or whatever, you can do like what I did, which is way cheaper. It doesn't bolt on, but you have to kind of rig it up. But I use like Amazon catch cans, or you can go with, I believe, probably the best for your money would be the Damond catch cans. So those are really nice. They're about 180 bucks, I believe, right now. So they do a really good job. Made in the United States. I don't know if radium, I think they're made in the United States as well. Not sure 100% on the details as far as how they manufacture those. The benefits of a catch can is mainly just preventing any of the blow-by to build up on your intake valves, right? So you're going to have carbon buildup from all the blow-by coming through your PCV plate and allowing it to go through the line into the manifold, and then it's just going to get sucked in because, obviously you can't vent the atmosphere like the old days, so it has to be burnt up in the combustion chamber. What happens is with a direct injection car, the problem is you don't get the fuel cleaning the intake valves like a port injection. So either you get a port injection set up to prevent this and also run a catch can, but really having a catch can does eliminate a lot of this. I would say probably 50 to 75% of the problem. It's not going to be 100% of the carbon buildup. You're still going to get very little over time, especially, but it's going to eliminate a lot of it. So there's that. And also, I don't really have it written down, but pairing the catch can of your choice with, I'd say, the best PCV plate out there is definitely going to be the radium PCV plate. So I got the one with the fittings, and then the secondary one you can use it as a secondary or third catch can for like a breather only or something like that for venting more pressure. That being said, technically you wouldn't need that because if you went with an oil breather cap, that also relieves extra crankcase pressure. The other benefits of having a catch can is really just not letting the oils and fuel contaminants to degrade the fuel combustion process and mixing in there, or mixing into the combustion chamber and lowering the octane rating of your fuel, which can cause NOx. So that would basically allow you to have less chances of knock. The oil cap breather I recommend because I've had both of them. The first one I got was the CFM Central Florida Motorsports oil cap breather. That one I've noticed it spews out a lot more oil, and like you get kind of like a mistiness all over, built up on your valve cover. Doesn't have as much baffling as the UPR one. So the UPR one has more baffling. It's a better design, and it really just works wonders. I mean, it really looks good as well. So I mean, it's kind of an aesthetic thing too, and it's really sleek, but also it does a better job. So the UPR one, definitely highly recommend that. That's the one I have. Number 2 on the list is going to be the passenger motor mount and the trans motor mount. So the motor mounts, I mean, this is a preference thing. There's many out there. I've tested a lot of them. I've had the CP side motor mounts. I've had the AWRs. I've had the JBR motor mounts. I've had, now I have tried the Damond motor mounts. I've had the TurboTech Racing ones back in the day. Those were the first ones I actually tried out. And what else? I mean, geez, there's other ones out there, I'm sure. But those are popular main motor mounts out there. So honestly, you can't go wrong with, the Damond ones. I highly recommend the Damond ones, honestly, because they're made in the United States. High quality. The CPU ones are going to be the most money for the quality for sure. So like the CPU ones are made of billet. So obviously you pay what you get for those. And they also use an EPDM, so it allows less vibration to transition to the car's frame, which, supposedly allows less NVH. I never really noticed that compared to like the JBR ones or the AWR, so technically I don't really notice it. So honestly, I just put in the 88, I think it's 88 diameter Damond mounts. They're all blacked out. I really like those on the black car. And honestly, the vibrations aren't really that bad compared to like a 70 diameter, which I ran on AWR on the white car, and the JBRs as well. So really, there's not much of a big difference, I feel, as the vibrations from 70 to 88. So really, the harder polyurethane you can go, the longer it's going to last and longevity, because the strength of it, the strains are, just stronger. I kind of, looked up that, and I was wondering, like, man, what if, the softer ones are nice for a street, but they don't last as long because they're going to end up cracking easier because they're more soft. So, it's going to basically give out faster. So having a stiffer one is going to have more material built into it, and it's going to be stronger over time. So that's going to save you money if you think about that. So it's going to allow you to have, obviously, an aesthetic look, better looks for sure, but that's not really what it's all about. Mainly, it's to have better traction with less wheel hop. Also allows the engine to not move as much. Like it literally, if you upgrade all 3 mounts, especially the rear motor mount, along with, the Damond ones, for example, the engine's not going to move. I don't care. I mean, you're not going to move it. You can't. So, you're going to have more of a mechanical feel for sure with the car, because like when you're shifting the car and, you're doing a pull, it's not going to allow the engine and transmission to move and no flex. So all that torque will allow the engine to flex. But if you have them upgraded mounts, it's not going to flex. So you're shifting, you're going to have a more mechanical feel. Basically, you're going to have a better contact or, feel overall with even your shifting. And, it might be a little bit notchier, but really it's actually more of a natural feel when you do this. So, honestly, like over here, the CP Stage 2 is definitely the best rear motor mount out there, by far, hands down. This one definitely produces less vibrations than any of the other ones. I've tested them out. I have the Stage 2 JBR, which is nice. Not as nice as this one, though, but just because of the EPDM and, the quality, it's worth it for sure. I mean, it's billet aluminum. It's not going to break. You know, it shouldn't anyways. I mean, unless you're doing freaking a lot of drag racing and somehow it just snaps, but I doubt that's going to happen really. You'd have to throw a lot of horsepower to it. But you know, really what's going to go bad is probably the bushing before anything else, because I've seen some bushings on the CPEs fail before on the rear motor mounts, but that was mainly on the like the OEM style one. But that right there combined with or paired up with the Damond mounts are definitely going to be, I feel like, the perfect pair. I have that in the black car, and honestly, they're not even broken in yet. So, I mean, the vibrations, there's vibrations for sure, and it's also got a balance shaft delete. But, you know, the thing is I'm also used to the vibrations from the white car being built and all that stuff for over the years. So, really, it's really not that bad. So, but it's also going to be broken in. It's going to take like, you know, maybe 4,000 miles, you know, to break, you know, all that in anyway. So, you know, with a stiffer diameter polyurethane, it's going to take a little bit longer to break in as well. So keep that in mind. Now, last but not least, you obviously want to upgrade your exhaust. The main reason to upgrade your exhaust is because, well, a lot of people just do it because they want to hear their car revving and shifting in between and all that. Like, you can literally hear your engine. Like, you don't want to, you know, be driving like an electric car, even though all the cops and all the states want us to basically drive quiet, you know. But the thing is having the sound, you know, match up to the performance of the vehicle or the engine. You can hear the car shifting is what you want, right? But also you want to match the flow of, you know, your future upgrades. So like going with a bigger turbo and all that, you definitely want a 3-inch catback. It can be a preference thing. Honestly, the best one for the money out there is definitely going to be the MBRP non-stainless steel catback. You know, it's got a really nice tone. That's what I have on my white car currently. So what I mean non-stainless steel, it's the version that uses mild steel. So it can rust. So what you really want to do if you want to prevent it from rusting is you want to spray it with some like high temp, you know, ceramic spray or something like that, just to protect the metal surface because it is a mild steel. Now, the stainless steel, on the other hand, is going to be a couple $100 more. You're going to want T304. You don't want the 410 because 410 rusts easier. The 304 is definitely going to be the higher quality stuff. I think that kit is going to be almost $800 for the catback now. And the mild steel one is going to be about 500-ish. So give or take. You're going to get the better flow with a 3-inch exhaust. It isn't a make or break thing. You don't need to have this for a stock turbo because it's going to be way overkill for a stock turbo. You really, I mean, definitely the best option for future upgrades. I mean, upgrading this and matching it up to a bigger turbo down the road is definitely what you want to do and kind of look at it like that. So pick what you think is going to be best for your sound preference, and also for if you're daily driving it. I would go with the Miltech exhaust. It has a nice 304 stainless. You can check out the video. That one's going to have the least amount of drone. I've seen videos of it, and it's really the most underrated kit out there. It is an expensive kit. It's like almost $1,000, but you know, it's made in the UK, so they're like, you know, the main hub for the Focus ST stuff. Very high quality. But you know, you can't go wrong with MBRP or, you know, Miltech or even AWE Track Edition. That's a more of a louder, you know, more drone but high flowing, you know. So you got the better overall sound, like I said. You got a lighter than OEM, so you know, the exhaust upgrading to a 3-inch is actually going to be lighter than OEM because the OEM muffler and resonator are so big and heavy. You're literally going to probably shave like 10-15 pounds. It's pretty insane depending on, you know, what route you go. And then obviously you're going to have drone depending on the exhaust setup. Like I said, the Miltech exhaust is going to produce the least amount of drone of any catback exhaust out there. So just keep that in mind, but it's going to be also more expensive. If you want the MBRP, that's definitely going to be the best option. It's going to have a little bit of drone, but it's not bad. It has a nice bassy tone to it, really subtle, but it is still loud when you get into it. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, so that's the stage 2 of the best mods for your money and reliability. Make sure to like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one for stage 3. Stay tuned.